This is for real. I'm just trying to make sure the audio is recording good.
Christmas.
It's like I'm walking on sunshine.
It'll be okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DoomCast. I am Charlie McGrath. I am joined by my co-founder and friend, Doug Owen.
What's up, Mr.
I don't
Roboto?
know, man. That's robot voice. It's robot day.
Robot intro.
Robot intro. This is DoomCast number 32, Doug Owen, or is it 31? 32. This is 32.
32, man.
Oh, we're getting old. We're getting old. We're getting up there. 32 DoomCasts are going to be in the bag after tonight.
We're almost at the magic number, 33, next Wednesday or so. 33 is coming up. 32 is going to be great, but 33, we have to do something special. Yeah, we do. We have to celebrate the the big G, maybe. Do a pyramid thing type of thing. We're doing the 33-degree thing. Is that what you're thinking? Yeah. I'm thinking that we should do something for it. I haven't figured out what it is, so I don't want to just talk about it on air.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page with you with your 33. And now there's people out there going, "I knew it, man. That Owen and McGrath, they're shills."
No, it's everywhere. It's
Illuminati shills.
It's a great way to decipher when something's code or bull crap. It usually has a 33. Like recently, this week, I noticed that Kim Jong-un, or whatever his name is. The North Korea, dear leader, the new dear leader.
The dear leader.
He's planning on killing 33 Christians. Just put the number 33. I mean, it goes beyond, Freemasonry and Skull and Bones and.
What's it all about, Doug Owen? What's with the 33 then? I mean, what's your take?
What's
your take? Wait a minute, before we get rolling, let me say welcome to DoomCast, everybody, again. The DoomCast show on Twitter, if you want to follow me and Doug. Doug has a fancy text number. What is it, Doug, that you want to text?
512-222-3067.
Yeah, that. And DoomCast.com. You can see all the latest archives there. You can also check out DoomCast of WideAwakeNews.com and BlacklistNews.com. All right, 33. What's the, obviously I know the Freemason, 33 degrees of masonry, and it's an Illuminati type of a number that gets a lot of attention in that realm. But you're saying it goes beyond that, right?
Well, I mean, I think what it is that when people use that, or you see big news events and they have it very prominently, it lets other people know that this is something, maybe sinister, maybe it's bull crap, maybe this is just propaganda. So it's a code. I'm not sure exactly what it means, but you see it all the time. And so I think that either there is a weird gravitational pull to something in the cosmos that make things happen in 33s, or it is manufactured by human beings. And so, yeah.
That's interesting. I think you're weird.
No, just put 33. Go give yourself.
I'm doing it right now. 33, and I don't think you're weird. I hope nobody. I hope nobody thinks because I bust on you every week. A little bit that's real, because I just goof around. You know that, right? You know that, buddy, right?
Yeah. I mean, calling me kind of crazy, or I guess
homophobe.
Diminishing
heathen. How about a heathen?
That's true. That could be very accurate. It probably is by some people's metrics. No, it's okay.
Doug Owen is an awesome individual, and he's a great daddy, and I'm probably thinking the Mrs. Doomer thinks you're a pretty good husband, because I know you're pulling your weight there with old Junior.
Trying my best.
It's a bitch, man, isn't it? I hate to use such language, but that's what it is. It's a tough deal, and you know what? It's worth it all. But your little guy's fairly easy still, because they still sleep. He's still sleeping through the night, right? Sleeping 12 hours at a time.
12 hours? No way. No. That's a long time. That's like half a day.
Yeah, I know. Well, how much does a kid sleep?
I mean, he probably, but not consistently. I mean, 2 hours here, 3, 4. Sometimes if you're really, really lucky, 5, but you have to be careful.
Really? My boy slept, when he was a baby, tiny baby, your baby-sized baby, right out of the chute, he was sleeping 10, 12 hours in a row. It was great. And then, by the time he was 1, then
Are you sure about that, Charlie McGrath? You're supposed to feed your baby every 2 hours.
Nah, he's all right. He was all right. He just crawled around.
You might
toughened
be
him up a
proving
little.
how negligent a parent you were. That was
Yeah,
a long
tough
time
kid,
ago,
though.
folks.
He's a tough kid now, though.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. He's scavenged, he foraged, survival of the fittest, that kind of thing.
You mentioned language. That's something I want to talk about. We have a new word being banned. Did you hear about this?
No, I did not, Doug Owen. Tell me, as I read 33s.
Bossy. That is the new word, and hashtag Ban Bossy. You will find Michelle Obama, and we have a new sounder for Michelle Obama.
Let's do it.
I'm bossy. I'm the bitch y'all love to hate.
So, yeah, Bossy is
it's
out.
banned.
It's out.
That's a word that we can no longer use.
See, what happened was they saw the potential with retard and the R word and turning it into the R word. I mean, of course, the big N word is the one that kind of, I guess, preceded that. That's
the granddaddy of them all.
That is the granddaddy in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on if you're a woman, it might be the C bomb. But in England, it's not a big deal. So, but
the CU next Tuesday is a timeless. That's never going to be okay. I'm thinking, at least in the mind of our the better half.
I just realized how out of touch we really are with pop culture, and I guess this is a big thing in maybe African American culture, Black culture, being bossy. It's a code word for bitch, and so
I knew that. I'm white as the driven snow, and I knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're in the loop, man.
I'm in the loop.
Bossy. So yeah, Bossy's out, according to.
I'm bossy. I'm the bitch y'all love to hate.
So
I do love to hate. You know what? I do love to hate her too. I'm glad it's out. You know what else needs to be out? I mean, where are you getting these list of words that are out? Because
there's a big campaign. They've got money. This is a big thing that Michelle Obama is promoting on Twitter. It's got its own hashtag. You're not listening to me, Charlie McGrath.
I guess I'm not. I thought you were kidding. I thought you were making a joke.
No. I wouldn't go out of my way to make a sounder for a joke, sir. Okay.
So you're telling me that the first lady is literally.
This isn't a bit. This is the
I'm
Ministry
mad
of
now.
Truth.
And now I'm just mad.
Yeah, just go to Twitter and put in ban Bossy, BANBOSS. It's a big thing. Bossy.
I'm looking right now. Banning Bossy isn't the answer.
The Girl Scouts, they want me to follow the Girl Scouts. Damn you, Twitter. Anyway, Ban Bossy, policing words are a movement to start a conversation. Ban Bossy may have had Beyonce, but Be Bossy has Nicki Minaj. Mystified by Ban Bossy? Why? Being bossy is leadership. Out of balance, children learn to calibrate traits with guidance. Also, teach manners.
God.
I like Heather. She's actually got a head on her shoulders. Oh no, I see Paul Joseph Watson here. He says, devastating fact-based assault on feminism. Ban Bossy should remind us that militant feminism is toxic. It's like, I mean, is there nothing else that we should be worried about right now? And I think it's a big issue only because it's this idea that we can fix things, these faux solutions to real socioeconomic and even possibly cultural issues. But banning words, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's crazy. I didn't know this was going on. I wouldn't have paid any attention to it because it just sounds like some retarded pop culture thing. And I can't believe that effort is being wasted on this at all. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're talking about it. But it is. You make a good point that it is the whole Brave New World. We can engineer a better society by banning and controlling government. Controlling everything that comes out of your mouth. It's ridiculous, my friend.
It's overreaction to all of this. I was talking about a lot. Looking at the reaction to these words. Oh my God! And people that believe that this is going to fix something. That is what is so sad. That we have the First Lady pushing this forward. There's a lot.
I'm reading it says on Monday, Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg launched a campaign through her Lean In organization to ban the word bossy. So, is Obama just jumping on board? Is this the Facebook chief operating officer's plan to ban bossy?
Well, I mean, you look at what Michelle has accomplished in her what, 6 years in the White House, wherever we're at. I guess what 6, yeah. So she had a garden, an organic garden that died, and the few fruits that were in it were not worth giving to her own family, so they donated them. And if you saw the pictures of them, pretty sad looking. I mean, with all the resources, I mean, for God's sakes, freaking Bill Nye the Science Guy, and you can't get a garden going at the White House. I mean, you have armed guards watching there's not going to be any bunnies. There's not going to be any mole shenanigans going on. I mean, they'll blast those guys right out of the way. I mean, you people at Monsanto, and you can't even fake it. That's what's so sad. I mean, I would just fake it to make it, look legitimate. Make it look real. Plastic
veggies or something in there.
Anyway,
you're right. I mean, I don't know who the greatest
school lunches. Remember that, all the starving kids, and this is the irony of that. She thought that kids were getting fat and becoming obese, and of course, that's a big problem for the military, the meat grinder, because they're too fat to fight. But so the idea is that we need to change the school lunches. It's not school lunches that are making kids fat. It's that they're drinking massive amounts of high fructose corn syrup, living sedentary lifestyles. They're in the air conditioning all day long. I mean, those are the kids that are going to be plagued with cancer. They're going to have, just horrible health in general.
Yeah.
But it's not because of what they're eating at school. If they're eating anything from I don't even know if they garner any nutrition at all from what they're getting from the school lunches. Probably very little with the pink slime meat and all.
Yeah.
But I mean, just another one of these endeavors that shows you that it's all about feeling good and not about real results. And we live in this society now where, it's not about holding banks accountable. It's about just printing money and making everybody, let's just paper over all of these problems and mistakes. It just transcends across, I think, the whole society in a lot of different ways, societally.
No, I agree. And I bust you on you a little bit there for bringing us into Bossy, but, your point's well made.
Ban Bossy.
I am not a dictator. I'm the president.
So.
Yeah. Well, I think that Bossy is a worthy cause, and we definitely need to rally and beat down this word, because it's.
You know what I was thinking? That you were kind of bossy when you were being mean to me. I was like, Charlie McGrath is being bossy. He's being bossy. He's being mean to me. Woo.
See, now we're gonna get into the bullying thing. I'm a bossy
I feel bullying
bully.
people. Help me. Help me. Help me.
I'm cyberbullying you. That's exactly what I'm doing.
On Skype.
This is bad. This is bad news, man.
Charlie's naked right now. He's threatening me with a gun.
Here's something coming up that maybe you want to get into a little bit. I thought this might be fun. First of all, I did another little outtake or whatever. Is it an outtake or is it a clip? Is it a segment? What is it? When I do a little 2-minute piece of a
I'd go with
DoomCast
snip or a little preview.
Yeah, a little snippet of it.
Package.
Yeah, and I think it's 3,000 people have watched it, and most of the people like it. A lot of comments on it, but I think it helps. It gives people a taste of what DoomCast is all about without having, if they're intimidated by the hour that when they pull up DoomCast and they see it's an hour long, maybe they can get a taste of what it's after. So and I had put that out a few weeks ago. You remember that? And I asked people if they wanted me to keep doing it, and most people that responded said yes. So. Doug, I'll keep doing that, and I think it's funny because you're freaking hilarious when you get on a roll, and I find it because I'm sitting here listening through the DoomCast, and in this last one you're talking about Putin, and it just you're hilarious. You're fighting bears, and there's your mannerisms, so it's perfect for the memes that I was throwing up there on that. So I wanted to make sure that I told everybody that I would continue to run that. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that I am going to continue to run these because of your guys' response. I'll put them together once a week, at least one clip a week from the program. But one thing I definitely want to talk about tonight and get your take on is the RT deal. Since the last time we spoke, kind of got a lot uglier, with Liz Wall bailing and. When we had talked last week on this, we didn't talk about Liz. Who did we talk about? It was another gal that worked there.
Abby Martin?
Abby Martin. And did she had never actually quit though, did she? She just
No. She didn't quit. I think we talked about Liz Wall, didn't we?
Well, maybe. I don't remember that. I don't rember talking about Liz.
We played it. We played her signing off and quitting on Doomcast 31.
Okay. For some reason, that I was thinking Abby Martin, and when I saw that clip, Liz Wall has interviewed me like 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why when
I saw your insider RT. I actually tweeted that out behind the scenes, the truth at RT. Your breakdown on it.
Well, yeah, and that video was horrible because I had the TV behind me and the color was all, or the you know,
it was very psychedelic. I liked it.
It was psycho. Well, but it all came when I'm listening to or rewatching that Liz Wall resignation, and gave a little bit more thought to it because initially I didn't. Who cares? I don't care if she quits or what she thinks of RT, but when you break that down a little bit and you look at the whole scenario, man, that is 100% self-aggrandizing to try to get on at a brand name news organization. I mean, that's why she ran over to CNN. That's why she did it on air. And at least that's my opinion. Is why
you know where she started, right? She started at Fox News with Sean Hannity. And she was on with Neil Gravato, and they had an interesting little back and forth. It's not worth playing, but you can find it. He interviewed.
Wait a minute. No. You mean before she went to work for RT, she was at Fox, or you mean the interview after she quit?
No. She was working with Sean Hannity. She was a couple different places. It's all in her bio. So yeah, she didn't start out as a Russian lady.
Wait a minute. So she was working for an American company. Then she went to work for RT.
Right.
All right. Well, listen. When she had interviewed me and the experience I've had with her, it seemed like she was just like right out of journalism school. And I think that's what RT gets in the United States a lot for their hosts or for their news presenters, they call them.
Yeah.
Is they'll get younger people right out of either small markets or right out of journalism school. And then throw them on air, and I'm going to assume that most of these
Larry King over there. They find washed up old guys too.
Yeah, young and old. They're looking for the middle.
Julian Assange, he had a show. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and who else had one? What's his face? Max Kaiser.
Max Kaiser.
That's an RT program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tom
Thornton. Tom Hartman. That's the guy.
I like Tom Hartman.
You like Tom Hartman? Okay.
I do like Tom Hartman. Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
I think he's a little. Well, I mean,
you're going to say something. You're going to say something that's going to paint you.
There's going to be like 5 liberals that listen to this Doomcast. Like, I love Tom Hartman. How dare you? Sorry.
You're getting painted as a red state conservative. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Me? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
And yes. And look, you just referenced liberals. 5 liberals listen to the program. You something that you said last week earned you a comment on. Oh, I know what it was because in that small clip I put together, you talked about Obama and his mom jeans, and somebody commented about how Doug's listening to too much Rush Limbaugh or something because apparently I don't even know if that's true. If the conservative talk shows are the ones who came up with the mom jeans thing.
Well, you know what? All those people should listen to the very latest Blacklisted Radio. I interview a fellow from the Smog blog. Okay, climate change, fully on board with all of that. Guy named Steve Horn. Great interview. We talk a lot about Stratfor. He's one of the straight shooters there in the quote unquote liberal media. So I just use those names and terms because if it offends you, then you are or identify with that group.
Yeah, I'm not offended. I'm just warning you. You're getting painted. You're getting painted on the net, but who cares, really?
That's okay.
Wait, I want to ask you if you've heard of this program on RT. I have a RT thing tomorrow, and I was going to share this with the Doomer audience because I thought it might be kind of interesting.
Doom Nation.
Let's see, the Truth Seekers show on RT. Have you ever heard of it?
I have. We played clips from it. Remember the guy that was talking about John McCain giving candies and Victoria Nuland are giving candies to the Nazis?
Okay, yeah.
Remember that? Oh, man, that's like 10 Doomcasts ago. Anyway, that we played that the Truth Seeker. He's got a weird hairline, and that's why I always find it interesting. And he really hates the United States of America. Really, really hates it.
Well, I'm going to be on his program tomorrow, and it sounds like I'm going to be. It sounds like it's going to be like a half-hour thing.
It's kind of like a clip show. He chops it all up, so it's like we talk with activist and researcher Charlie McGrath, and then they hit you, and then you have a couple witty comments, and then so it's kind of a firestorm. It's all a package. The show's great. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
The guy.
I'm going to Durka it when I'm on there. I'm going to Durka.
Why?
Why not?
Haka Sherpa Sherpa.
You should Haka Sherpa Sherpa instead.
I'm going to Haka Sherpa Durka. Muhammad Jihad.
Durka. Muhammad Jihad.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blow up. I'm gonna blow up my spot. Well, no. So I thought it'd be interesting because on the heels of Liz Wall quitting, I did that video, and and at the end of it, I said, "Look, here's what I know. I've probably talked to 100 different producers at RT. Either corresponding or on the phone, and then interviewed probably 30 to 50 times, right, by different news presenters. And no one's ever once asked me what the answers I'm going to give to any specific question or any specific topic, or have I been guided or pushed in any direction whatsoever. And you know what? I can't say that with establishment media. They're certainly at least my involvement with them has been, it's a specific angle they want, and they'll let you know we want this. And it's like setting a script for reality TV. And with RT, I've never had that. However, in front of me now for this Truth Seeker show, which I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember that, Doug, and I don't think I ever sat and watched it. I have the 8 questions that they're going to ask me.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
All right, so here, let me cue up the Truth Seeker music here for you, so
all right, let's
you
do
can. Okay,
let's do it.
There we go. It says, "Warning: This program contains scenes that will disturb you." All right, go with it.
Is it okay? What question number 1? How about I ask you these questions? How about you turn that off?
Okay, that's the truth. That's what you're going to hear tomorrow. It's a great bed.
Yeah, that sounds like a.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you want me to ask you these questions?
Okay.
So here it is. This is what we got here. Is this their producer for this program, the Truth Seeker show, contacted me Monday and asked me to come on one day this week for a 20 or 30 minute interview, and the topic is, she told me Monday, the topic's going to be the unfair coverage by establishment media of military actions around the world, which it makes sense. They're catching a little grief for their coverage, obviously, of what's going on in Crimea, and so maybe they're working on this image a little, or trying to point out.
They're trying to balance it out. They need some. They need some counterweight.
I think what they're going to try to do is make the British and American press look like they just back anything that has to do with war. But let me give you these questions, Doug Owen. Okay, here we go. This is going to be question number 1. The British Broadcasting Corporation shows a rosy future path for the mainstream. It now actually stages events, including or inciting to violence and to disruption of public order, and even try to plant evidence against countries on NATO's hit list. What do you make of such behavior?
We've seen it before with Operation Gladio. It's going on right now. Right now.
Bam! That was a power answer, Doug.
I could elaborate, but I would reference Gladio. I'd reference other the Chilean coup, Henry Kissinger. I don't know, something like that.
All right, I like it. Let me take some notes here. This is good. This is good for me to have you, soundboard this for me. Number 2.
Okay.
Historian James Peck describes how inciting violence and organizing public disorder abroad used to be a CIA's job before it was passed to less openly partisan groups like NGOs. By staging protests or fabricating evidence, softening up the next regime change victim, has the BBC also become some sort of advanced unit of the military? Interesting question.
Always has been. Where have you been? You're late to the game, RT.
I want to know why they're going to ask me questions about the BBC. I'm not in England. I'm not, I'm not.
Well, I think this is a hit piece against the BBC. These are very couch
so
questions.
far. No, we're gonna move to the next news organization next here. So
I don't know if maybe you could draw. I would do this. Draw parallels to historical events where Russia has done the same thing, and see how he responds, and if it makes him mad and turns you off.
is this guy Russian, or is he? Does he have an English accent?
He's definitely Russian. He's got a Russian accent. No, I'm just teasing. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously, I wouldn't call it a hit piece, but it's anti-BBC and talking about it being a part of the military. It takes its talking points from the military. It's not that it's untrue. Don't get me wrong. It's absolutely true. It is an extension because you have to have public opinion behind, or at least enough of the people behind. And as long as there's an authoritative source saying that they need whatever it is,
Yeah.
It's going to, whether it's James Cameron or any of these
Sure.
politicians. I don't think, is his name James Cameron? It's Cameron. Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute, James Cameron. Yeah, that's him.
No, isn't that the Hollywood producer?
That's what I'm thinking of. Titanic.
It's
Sinking ship. Sinking ship.
He's working with RT now.
Apparently so.
So
And
anyway.
he's the Prime Minister of England.
So, yeah, I mean, it always has been. I mean, you could elaborate on that. You could go and find some historical references. You could talk
I'll
about
just wink.
you could talk about Orwell and how he talked about the revisionist history and
Sure.
tried to warn us in 1984.
Yeah, no doubt
And
about
he
it.
was talking about the BBC.
No doubt about it. Let's move. Do you want to hear question number 3?
Sure.
I don't know if I don't
I
know
like
if this
this.
will,
Yeah, this is great.
I don't know if it'll be redundant if these. I mean, because sometimes you get these questions that are just really redundant. And it's the same question over and over again.
Maybe they want you to really bang something really.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Although I will say they've never tried to, say, hey, bang this really hard. They've never said that. For those who believed Operation Mockingbird was over, the CIA was found in CNN offices even before Bush Jr. removed legal restriction on CIA working for mass media. How closely do intel agencies and media chiefs work together?
Very closely.
Very, very closely.
Very
No doubt.
closely. Yeah, I mean, think about it. There's two ways to think about it. You have a CIA officer in the newsroom, or who do you go to? The World Fact Book, who has all of the answers? It's the CIA. So
Yeah.
you could also say, well, of course you have a CIA spook in the newsroom. I mean, he's the one that's giving you all the intel that you want to write these juicy stories.
No doubt.
So,
No doubt.
Right.
All right, number 4. Ready?
Yes.
How likely that the State Department and CIA still actively assist mainstream media with writing? How likely is it?
Have you seen Transformers 1 or 2? They paid for, well, the CIA, I guess you could say that's the Pentagon, but the CIA has well, I mean, through the channels, they're allowed to propagate propaganda throughout the world. I mean, we pay for Sesame Street, USA. There's plenty of history that you could go to on that. So that's always kind of been the way it is. But you could elaborate.
I'm gonna elaborate. I'm gonna say, how likely is it? It's damn likely. It's 100% likely.
It's absolute. It really is.
Yeah, there is no questioning it. But you could draw, again, if you wanted to be just a DB, and never be asked back on RT again. Probably you could go on and say, hey, look, it seems like we're taking a page out of the Russian/Soviet playbook of having the political officer in every unit of every walk of life, be it military or civilian. But whatever. Number 5, you ready?
You could, yes. Sure.
Some think all this kind of behavior is actually illegal. Is it, or at least should it be?
Regulation of information, I don't think it should be illegal. I think that, unfortunately, enough people just still see the mainstream media as authoritative. But I mean, personally, and this is just how do you get
away from that, Doug? Listen. How do you? I mean, I'm with you. There should be no. I mean, how are you going to make it illegal?
The Pentagon has their right to their side of the story.
Sure.
You have your right to say that's bull
right.
crap.
Right.
I have my side of the story. You have your side of the story. So I think that And you look at Russia. I just saw this week that they've passed 4 laws. They've shut down a bunch of websites that are critical of what's happening in Crimea. So, that, I mean, there's plenty of censorship in media regulation and control. And Putin says that it's okay because it's part of the Constitution. You can't talk about Russian economics because that threatens the Russian economy. So they use the same exact tactics against their own people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not buying into the State Department funded Pussy Riot crap and them going to Amnesty International with Madonna. I see through all of that, but I'm just saying that I think that what they have a stint, they have a bias. Obviously, it's Western media because if they really wanted to be completely fair, they could obviously do a lot of stuff that's very critical of their own, and they do. I mean, I'm not saying that RT doesn't.
Well, but let's face it, Doug. Let's face the reality.
They have a right to put out their talking points. That's why they have a news network here in this country, and I agree with much of the criticism against our foreign policy that they promote.
Yeah, and of course, their money, their funding comes from where we know it, the Russian government. That's it.
At least
they don't hide it. They don't deny it. They don't deny it. They're admitting where the money comes from. But they're every bit there is every bit critical of the Russians' situation as CNN or MSNBC is of our situation, our foreign policy.
You should ask him. Do you have an FSB or Kremlin security chief at RT? Do you have any spooks there working with you?
Yeah,
coaching?
No doubt.
Who's your liaison to the Kremlin? Who do you talk to? What's his name? Where's his office in New York? You could ask him, but just like the mainstream media, I think that you see some parallels that are kind of interesting. They have a stint, they have an agenda. You go on, you can say what you want, and if you do, you will not be invited back. And it's just pretty much, par for the course. So most people that want to be,
it's whitewashing. I shouldn't say whitewashing. It's delivering a canned message on, I believe, probably more so on our corporate controlled media than the government controlled media of RT. And that's just observation. I mean,
I think it's more critical that we hold our own government accountable. I don't care what RT says. I think that they're right on many accounts. I'm more critical of U.S. media because that's what my mom and dad are watching. That's right. What is our government in their message because it indoctrinates the people in this country.
Yeah, and that's why I think question 5 is an important question, although it's kind of silly on its face, which, I just read that to you. Some think all this kind of behavior is actually illegal. Is it, or at least should it be? That's why that is an important question.
I think that you could be the contrarian on this one and say why. And I think that we all have the right to put out our points, and that's why it's important that we have independent media. And you can still softball it if you want.
Well, I think independent is the thing. Should we have some kind of separation between corporate interests and media, because should we have some kind of busting of the stranglehold of media? I mean, I don't think it benefits the nation, the people. I don't think it benefits the electorate to have 6 corporations controlling 99% of the media that you have. It's just obviously that is the potential for corruption. Is massive. Potential to steer a nation into war or into giving away their financial freedom is massive.
I think that you can't apply that necessarily to the mainstream media, but they can use laws like that against you and I. It will be applicable to the internet because they've lost their dominance. They used to have the license to give you information. You used to have to go through all of these cleansing programs and making sure you don't say dirty words on air, and people still have to placate to that. So any new laws on the media, and that's what they're doing in Russia, which I am not a big fan of. They are creating new laws to try to curtail what is being said on the internet to solidify the message and making it a state-sponsored message, and I don't like that at all. And so I think that things like that may have been necessary when you had the media barons, that's last century. I mean, we could talk about, Hearst Publishing all day long. Yeah, I wish they would have been more regulated, less by the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts. But, now you can compete. I can compete. We don't need laws that regulate media, period, in my opinion, period.
All right, fair enough. I don't know
because how do you stop that? How do you regulate? It's just like,
well, I was going to say, I don't know if I would use the word regulate. I think the fact that some of these media empires can become so influential and so large, it's kind of like a too big to fail phenomenon, except it is with the public, the public trust, and it's with the public consciousness, because they have very much an ability to guide this nation in one direction or another when they've achieved the kind of power that something like Time Warner has. So, I'm not for regulating the coverage of stories or the exchange of ideas or information at all. But I'm not going to rush out and say I'm not for some kind of antitrust law that would keep some of these giant news media corporations from becoming so influential. I mean, I think we it's something we should be doing with banks, and it's something we should be doing with media, because it is such an important part of an informed populace.
All right, well, I'll give you that one. I think that having just one message, but if that happens, here's the thing: we might be doing ourselves a little disservice by worrying about that, because if there's just the government message, and they consolidate it to one message, then that's really easy to attack, and then it's going to become even more evident to the people. I think making it look like there's the government's doing a good job at regulating the media, like they ever have, period, not just in this country but anywhere ever, it's kind of self-fulfilling. Oh, well, we're doing this to make sure that you don't get bull crap. It's like, yeah, that makes sense, because I mean, here's a prime example of that. In Texas, you had these toll road companies. The Spanish King bought all of these newspapers. I mean, we're talking 20 plus of these local independent newspapers. And basically, they wanted their message to sell the people on eminent domain and the toll roads. And as soon as they got that through, as soon as they got Build-A-Burger Rick Perry on board, who now looks like Rachel Maddow. Check it out. Go Google Rick Perry. He's trying to make himself look
pretty
presentable as a president again. And so he figures that just by wearing those glasses, people are going to think he's more intelligent, not a dumbass.
He's kind of a dumbass, though.
I forgot where I was ranting and raving there. He got me distracted.
No, you're talking about eminent domain and propaganda, blah, blah, blah.
So after that, they just ran those newspapers into the ground, and they were absorbed and bought by bigger, larger syndicates, and so they got their toll road. Rick Perry got paid, and the people.
Man, are we going to see Rick Perry again? Is he running? Is he going to make?
Well, what else is he doing? I mean, he's not running for governor in Texas. The president of Texas again.
He's so dumb.
Well, he's a capitalist, and I think that has got him pretty far in being a good old boy and well connected, but. When you try to institute weird socialist policies, it doesn't work, and you bankrupt the city, and it's really hard to look good when you are kind of a robber baron capitalist in an oil state. It's hard to really screw up the economy, and he's taken full credit, and he does all the time, for how great Texas is. And I'm like, you think it's great? Go to Baytown. We might have one doomer there, and he'll tell you that you probably don't want to live next to those PVC plants. So, yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. The economy is doing good. If you're a bookworm or a banker, it's great.
What about an electrician, Doug Owen?
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all, is it?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than my other career path, which was going to be a teacher.
Oof.
Yeah, educator.
Oof. I don't know what they make in Texas, but here I think they're chiming in about $25K to start. And that's a hard way to make a living.
It's a really hard way to make a living, but you get a lot of overtime. You get the summers off, and you get hopefully married, and you get into one of those what do they call that? And where you have to both work.
Cult?
Is that the nuclear family? There's some term for that.
The Moonies.
You can hop on in, get with Liz Wall, and moving on forward.
Mormons.
So we can't say bossy anymore or retard. You want to talk about Snowden?
Wait a minute, I'm not done, man. I'm not done. I got another question for you.
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead.
Do you like my random word responses to you?
Yeah,
Mormons.
Mormons.
Or does it confuse you?
I think Mormons. I think database. I think NSA. I think
because they got the big fusion center there, listening to us right now.
Well, they have all of those records. The Mormons have a huge database.
Yeah, they're big. They're big into their genealogy. They're huge. That's their deal.
That's if you need to find your roots or where you're soul searching, they have it. They might not for a lot of ethnic people, mind you, but you know.
I got a new knife, Doug Owen.
Do you? I want to see it.
It's a BK15 by K-Bar, and I'm very, very happy with it. I love them. I see
K-Bar ads all over the place. Are they good?
K-Bar's been around since 1898 or 89, I believe.
This isn't a native advertising plug. Is this? You're not getting paid for this, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. In fact, I paid money for this knife, so I didn't get it for free.
Because I want my cut if this is because I can go along. Oh,
double entendre. I like that. No, my kid who's been into tactical stuff lately, and I'm trying to help him through this phase without him joining the military, right? But anyway, I've always been into
join the military. Is he ready to go kill for this country? Is he excited about it?
No, he's awake. He's a awake kid, and he understands what's going on. He's just really into tactical things right now. He loves our AR. He loves, going out shooting and the whole gambit. And
they call that the military culture or gun culture. That's what liberal people are scared of.
Well, I want them to be scared. Quit saying liberal. And I think that by not entertaining, but participating in this with him, I think it's important. I mean, he should know how. He should know how to do the things that he's learning how to do. And you don't, just because you learn these things doesn't mean that you have to learn them, supporting a corporate interest in some shit box around this planet, right? So, I'm more than happy to go out and train with him and do these kind of things. But right now we both picked up a tactical knife, and this one's a K-bar. And K-bar's been around since the late 1800s. It was the standard issue bayonet or fighting knife, I should say, during World War II, I think, for the Marines. So it's been around a long time, and they're good knives. They're good knives, about $90, not too expensive, and I'm playing with it right now as I talk to you, Doug Owen.
It's pretty cool. Have you ever heard of Busey?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Buseys. These things.
Do you have one?
Well, I don't want to talk about what I have because they're very expensive and they only gain value. Here's an insider for all of our preppers and other outdoorsman types.
Yeah.
Busey, they are heavily sought after if you go on to Blade Forum or any of those places.
Are you into knives, Doug? I didn't know that. Are you a knife guy?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, apparently you are. Yeah. How do you spell Busey? B-U-S-S-E-Y? B-U-S-E-Y?
B-U-S-S-E.
B-U-S-S-E. Knives. I'm looking this up. Knives.
I sent it to you. It's Bossy or BossyCombat.com.
Oh, that is cool, Doug Owen. That's cool. I didn't know that. We'll
So they put these.
Well, here's the deal. Wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, that's a cool looking knife, dude. Is that what you have right there? That ginormous thing?
I can't tell you.
All right.
No, I don't have any of the new ones. They all come out in series. So they have 3, and those are they make a certain amount of them. And then you can buy those, and once they're gone, they're gone. You have to buy them from other people, and immediately these things shoot up in value. You want something that's going to garner a 5 to 10% return every year. People are looking at a lot of things. Insider tip. That's why you're a doomer. That's why you listen to this show. Busey Combat Knives. Look at the price you pay now. Go to just Blade Forum or anywhere, and you're going to realize that they immediately go up in value. So. And there's lots of really badass videos. You can take these things and bend them at a 90-degree angle, and they won't break.
That's I'm looking at them right now, and the prices are lowest about $230 all the way up to about $1,000.
Yeah,
for these things, and that's not ridiculous for a knife. I mean, some people might think so, but if you look at a quality knife, you certainly could pay $400 or $500 for it.
People that are into knives will pay it, and it's kind of like it's actually better than firearms. Firearms are affected by politics, You know, Barack Obama gets into office, your AR-15's $1,500. You look at it now, because everyone rushed out there. You can get them for $8. So it's not because it's just because of hype. It's because of the sway of things. So knives are completely different, and you can have a lot of knives and not be a knife hoarder. You have a lot of guns, you know.
You're a gun hoarder. Can you carry? I mean, here I can put a knife in my boot or wherever, and there's no, it's not a concealed weapon. Mm-hmm. Are you free in Texas to do that?
There's a inch restriction, but you can't hide them. I'm not sure of all the laws. As long as you have them fully displayed, there's no problem if you got them in a sheath. But usually I carry it in a bag. But yeah, I mean, if you have it on you, in your pocket, if you have it concealed, then you run into issues.
I wonder about a good combat folding knife, because that's going to be concealed.
See, these aren't folders.
No, I know. I'm looking at this Team Gemini LB here. I want it. I want that knife. It's gorgeous.
Well, let me see which one you're looking at. Oh yeah. I'm more into the Battle Mistresses, the bigger ones. That thing you could take it. Look up Battle Mistress on YouTube.
I'm looking at it right now,
and you'll watch people chopping down trees with these things. Literally.
Wow, Doug, I didn't know you were a knife guy. That's interesting. That gives us a topic. That gives us a little more topics to talk about, because
I totally feel alienated from you.
Well, here's the deal. I was feeling we were drifting apart, but now we're growing back together.
Oh.
Here. Well, here's the deal. I do have a sponsor coming up. I've came up with an idea over at Wide Awake News. I don't know if you heard the video or saw the video I put out about that, but I was in Vegas, and I was late. I wasn't sleeping, and I was thinking of a conversation I had in chat. A few weeks earlier about, how much money does Wide Awake News make with its advertising? And I'm like, I told them what it was. It isn't that much. It was like $3,000 for the year. And, it's mainly because I don't go out and try to, get a bunch of people to throw banners up there. There's the Google money that comes in from the Google ads on the website and on YouTube. And certainly that's the biggest chunk of change out of all of it. But I get extremely annoyed when you go to some sites and it's just all crap banners with a little bit of content in the middle of the page. And I also get annoyed at the number of shysters who are just looking to parlay this independent movement or this freedom movement or this truth movement, parlay it into some coinage in their pocket and not believe what they're doing at all. And there's a lot of those out there.
Those are the Patriots.
Yeah,
P-A-Y, Patriots.
I like that. Yeah, the Patriots. These are the guys that they'll put up a website. They don't have anything. They don't stock anything. You call them up or you click on their website and then they have somebody else ship it out. No offense on somebody making $1, but if they, if they're going to be up on my site or if we're going to talk about them, I just assume it was somebody like you, right? That was into this, that was, believed in what they were doing, or somebody, in the Doomer audience that believed what they were doing and had a product or a service that they wanted to share. So I made this video saying, look, if you want to advertise on Wide Awake News or the YouTube channel, let's do it. If you got something you think that the audience that comes over to the site and watches me on YouTube, if you think that you have something for them, bring it to my attention and we'll look at it. So, well, I had just a crazy amount of response to that. Like 40 or so people sent me emails with stuff that they had. So I decided the best thing I could do is have a section at Wide Awake News that I've named the Awake Marketplace, that is our community, people in our community who are offering products or service, and I charge them almost nothing for advertising, for being up on the site, $15 a month if you want to know the exact amount, to have a banner up there and to come on the radio program to talk about their product. Now, that $15
It's just a cheap way for you to get people to come on your show and do your show with you, I think.
Really? I guess so. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, I got a guest role now for a long time. But the money, the money that's coming in from him, it's $90 for 6 months, right? And what I'm doing is taking that money and giving it 100% of it to the hosts on Wide Awake News, because I don't have to do 5 nights a week, because I have great hosts that come on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. But they do it for nothing, as we both well know. That nothing that you're earning costs you something, even if it's just your internet bill. So it's going to work out. I mean, the folks that have product that is kind of cool, or services that are kind of cool, and they want to share it with the folks in the community, they're going to have a platform that's, again, virtually nothing for them to advertise and go out and promote. And then the people who listen to the programs know that it's been vetted before it gets to them. So I'm pretty excited about it.
And I like it. I like it. For me, I think that I think that it's one thing if they want to support the show. And I think that with Doomcast, if you want to support the show, it's really easy. Just make a financial contribution and we will credit your business. We'll do a quick plug. It's on them. And we're just crediting their donation to the show in support of it. Because it's really hard, I mean, for me to get behind products or to worry about a product or a sponsor. And if I get the product and I think it's horrible, then I feel obligated to tell the truth to the listeners to not buy the product. So I think that that's a good compromise, because if you want to support the show, we want to support your businesses, but at the same time, I don't want to promote people's businesses as something that, I personally endorse. I think that it should be the other way around, and then it makes it much simpler. Then they are endorsed. It's really their endorsement of the show, not my endorsement of their product.
Yeah, well, and Doomcast is, I mean, that's why we're, at this point, it's commercial free. It's just, we're getting
that's the only way it could remain commercial free. That's, I don't want to get to this point where we start clipping commercials in the beginning or 15-seconders or, busting it up. Because, I mean, honestly, like you said, I mean, you're not making any money at it. It's not a venue. That,
I don't.
For $3,000 a year, you can live pretty nice in a homeless shelter there, Charlie McGrath. I mean, so
yes, for sure. And you know what? That isn't to say that there isn't a bigger potential, right, for the website for advertising or for even on the Rinse Network. I own some of those minutes. Yet I don't go out and fill them up. I could, but I don't. And a lot of it's, just because...
you should, with promotional stuff for your website.
Yeah, I should. I really should. For Doomcast or whatever, and get that out there. But...
or start selling some product yourself that you really believe in. And I think that's... Or let people do it and take from it what you will. In whatever capacity, but if it works out, that's great. If it really supports people that listen to the show, and that's one of the cool things, it's kind of extended to listeners of Wide Awake News. Yeah, and so
it's going to work out. It's going to.
What happens when Monsanto gives you $15, Charlie McGrath? Then you're going to have to start dealing with all of it. And that's the thing is, I
don't have to say yes to anybody. That's the thing. And I say right in the letter, if you want to be a member of this market. It's 100% based on what myself and Bonnie, we're the gatekeeper.
That's the thing, though. Then you have a new job. Now you're the gatekeeper. Now you have to do these things.
Oh, come on. How long does it take? It takes 3 minutes to look at their website?
It depends on the success rate of the model.
Yeah.
If your model's very successful, it could take up all of your day. If you have, and also if you have finicky people that are really needy, or if they're just not computer savvy, grandma's got some salve that's going to heal your wounds, and she doesn't have the email, Charlie McGrath. Before you know it, you're trying to be a nice guy. You're spending 4 hours.
Oh my God, you're just crapping all over my plan. Look at you, Owen.
I'm just telling you, man. You got to think
like
forward.
Grim Reaper.
I'm just saying, I've seen these models. That's why I think that's the best model.
Well, here's the deal. This is the deal. If I wanted the easiest model, absolutely, this ain't it. The easiest model is to put Google Ads on my website and on my YouTube videos, because that's brainless. I don't have to do anything, and the check shows up. There's easy, but
it depends on. Here's the thing. If you want to bring the best content, if you spend all of your time promoting the show and doing the things that we should be doing to make it that much better, then you're allocating time. And for me, I look at it and I think, unfortunately, it's a time suck.
If I'm doing Google AdSense, I'm allocating time to that. I don't have to do anything.
No. I'm saying that if you're allocating time to messing with something that doesn't make money necessarily. And if there's, don't get me wrong, if there's an altruistic good aspect and it produces something that's great for people, then it's worth the time. But if it's not worth the time, then
well, here's the thing. This is the beauty of
that time better. I mean,
this is the beauty of my management skill. Okay, I'm really good at this. Here's the deal. First of all, there's a reason why that when I started it and when I wrote this letter and the qualification for people to be part of it, there's a reason why it says right up front that me, Charlie McGrath, gets nothing, not a penny, not a red cent, not a dime, goes into my pocket from your $15 a month.
This is no good. This is not a good system at all. I do not like where it's going, Charlie McGrath.
Okay, so there's a reason why I did that.
Okay,
and it's because it gives me the out of responsibility for managing a bunch of advertisers. Then I also the hosts know that this money's coming to them to help them with some of their expenses, like internet or hardware or software or something like that.
I guess if you're already in this is the thing. You're with that show. You're already in the commercial system. You're already, if you listen to it, through Rents Radio, you're already taking breaks. You're already in that commercial system. So why not take advantage of the commercial network? Whereas I think with what we're doing, it's going to be completely different. And it doesn't.
Yeah, you're thinking DoomCast, and I'm thinking Wide Awake News.
You've already got your toes in the water. You might as well dive in.
No, and that isn't even it. If I was going to dive in, it would be I would have.
I don't mean it that way. I mean that
water filters, or I would have a sponsor of that would make real money. This project, this whole thing, is. I'm trying to give people who invented something in their garage that's helpful for this community. And there's one guy that did. He has an amazing water filter system that he's got a company making him now, but he started it in his garage. And I think that somebody like him, he can have spot for virtually nothing on my site because I believe in what he's doing. And like I said, I'm not getting any money for it, so it's easy for me to say no to people or say, hey, you know what? I don't have time to build you a web page or anything like that. So you just, move along. And then the hosts that are getting the money, they're helping with these interviews because guess what? They're getting the money to help pay for some of their expenses. So, yeah, the money-making potential isn't there. I'll say that right up front. Even if we had 100 people in there taking advantage of the banner space, it still doesn't amount to a hill of beans as far as money goes. But I do think it helps this community. It provides some kind of a service to the people that are producing product or a service, and hopefully it benefits the people that are listening.
Yeah, and as long as it's outsourced to people that you like and that are taking it upon themselves to handle it, then that's fine. I like it too. I like it in that capacity. So you want to talk about Dianne Feinstein? I know you do.
I do. Okay. Yeah, she's awesome, man. She's great. Go ahead.
So anyway, I noticed that John Brennan had responded at the Council on Foreign Relations. Did you see any of this? The video clips of him speaking about the CIA spying on the NSA. So we have spy versus spy. We have a little infighting there between the agencies, and I think a lot of people are trying to wrap their mind around what that actually means and what that is a sign of. So I thought it was really interesting. We have South by Southwest going on. We had Edward Snowden speak, sort of. He was kind of clipped here and there, but we got the message. And last week I talked about Ed Snowden and my Snowden theory. I want to elaborate. We've only got 10 minutes here, but it's
we got 8 minutes.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, okay, so we know Ed Snowden is CIA, worked for the CIA. John,
wait a minute, you said, yes, he is definitely, no doubt, former CIA, yes.
Okay, so John Rappaport, are you familiar with him?
Yes.
Okay, he had a really great piece, and I'm going to just read a snippet from it. Is Edward Snowden lying? And you can take it for, the narrative itself is kind of unbelievable, and I mentioned this in the last podcast, so in 2003, at age 19, without a high school diploma, Snowden enlists in the Army. He begins a training program to join the Special Forces. Now, Can you do that, really, with no diploma? Not in the military, not in the Navy. You're not going to become a SEAL. And I know that, and all the way back to 1997, it required not only a diploma, but to get actually into Special Forces, they wanted a bachelor's degree. They wanted people, they wanted highly, highly motivated people. But let's say they didn't, okay? Yeah. Kind of usually almost 99% of the time they want a high school diploma. But he could have got in there, maybe. At what point after enlistment can a new soldier start his elite training program? Takes a while. You have to get an MOS. You have to get a job before you can join the elite program. That way, if you, as he did, broke both of your legs, you still had some value to the Corps or the Army.
Right.
Okay, so Snowden breaks both of his legs in an exercise. This is the official story. He's discharged from the Army. Is that automatic? How about healing and resuming service? Could that happen, or are you just immediately kicked out? People get tossed out of the military for more, tertiary things. If he was accepted to a special forces training program because he had special computer skills, then why would they discharge him just because he had broke legs? Good question. Sorry, Ed, but 2 broken legs, we just don't think you can hack into terrorist databases anymore. You were good, but not now. Try Walmart, my friend. A little tongue-in-cheek. Snowden shifts jobs. Boom. Now he's at the CIA. He's in IT. He gets a job, not with, the CIA, but he goes to work for Booz Allen Hamilton, which is part of the Carlyle Group. Okay, he's no schlub. So he gets a job there. He must be pretty impressive with his interviewing process. I mean, got to be kind of a whiz to not have a high school diploma to get in at Booz Allen Hamilton. You can't get a job at McDonald's. So then he shifts jobs. In 2007, Snowden then goes to Geneva. He's only 23 years old. At this time, the CIA gives him diplomatic cover there. He's put in charge of maintaining computer network security, a major job, a big job, okay? He is the sysadmin, if you believe that, okay? And he has no degree. Obviously, he has the access to the wide range of classified documents. Okay, he's at the top of this. The CIA have put him in this role, and that's according to him. So, you have to ask yourself, was he being groomed for an operation to come? It just seems like this is a created false narrative. So, okay, maybe you can put all of that to the side. That doesn't give you, acid reflux. Then you look at his latest push, and when he was at South by Southwest on the telescreen, he was talking about what you can do to fight the surveillance, the NSA. Remind you, he's CIA, and he's talking about the NSA. And what you can do is use the Tor browser, which is a government-subsidized, supported browser. Look into Tor yourself out there, and you'll realize that it's compromised. You talked about more encryption. The more you encrypt, the more you leave a digital footprint right on your forehead. Okay, the more you encrypt, the more likely you are to have something that's worth encrypting. So I think that that's a faux solution in and of itself. So he pushes that, and then he pushes for more regulations over social media. If you don't want your information in the NSA's hands or the CIA's hands, you don't put it on social media. So, watch it for yourself. Listen to him. Listen to this guy that has a vocabulary of somebody who has at least a bachelor's. I mean, he's witty. He's a witty guy. And very articulate. And tell me if you think that this is a realistic narrative. Of course, he had all of those tall tale signs. He had a stripper girlfriend. He has moral issues. I mean, they've just created this huge persona around this guy that just seemed to fall into this place. I mean, he just arrived here. He's like, he reminds me of Barack Obama. There's this guy that just kind of
here one day,
just
bam,
fumbled his way in, and his whole history is very cloudy and
yeah, it could be. But what's the purpose, Owen? I mean,
well,
I know you covered this.
You got the CIA. You got the CIA, and they're at war with the NSA. This is what I propose. Now, remember Dianne Feinstein? She said just a month ago that she saw a drone at her house, and it came face to face with her, and we kind of chuckled about it.
Right.
What if John Brennan sent the drone to go look at Dianne Feinstein? Maybe she's not just crazy. I mean, I think she's crazy, but maybe there's something much more sinister to all of this. But it does prove that, at least on the face, that we have this infighting. Now, interestingly enough, all of this is about the torture program, right?
Yes.
Now, Seymour Hersh told us what was in this evidence that Dianne Feinstein and the NSA and now the CIA was able to scrub, and that was videos of children being raped and sodomized at Abu Ghraib. It's not just torture. It's not just hooking up people's genitals to, the electric panel in the room and putting a hood over their head. This is graphic, grim shit. I mean, the worst kind of stuff possible. So there's no way that they can have all of that information, not to mention the scrubbing recently that we talked about with the Bin Laden incident, whatever that may have been. So I think that there's a lot more here. And we know that CIA has been spying on members of Congress. The NSA has been doing the same, so that our representative government is completely compromised. So if you have these kind of snuff films, you have, total power, almost impunity. So that's what I think it's really all about.
So you're thinking that we're in the midst of some kind of civil intel war.
Absolutely.
Intel community war.
Well, and look who runs the NSA. Most of that is run out of London and, out of London, GHQ, but you also have most of the apparatus in Tel Aviv. So, and you look at John Brennan. He's the CIA, but he's, his history, he speaks Farsi. He is very friendly with the Muslim Brotherhood. He has a lot of ties. Just go through his history and look at this guy, and you could see how he's kind of representing, I think, the CFR, the academics, and the like. Whereas you have the neocons and you have the AIPACers, Israel Firsters, and the rest of them. They're launching this war, this financial war, with their central banker, new-led government in Ukraine. So I think there's more to it in that respect, and it's also an approach. You have different power brokers like the CFR that represent a lot of Fortune 500 companies, and then you also have the warmongers. You have the Dick Cheneys, the neocons that have their own agenda. Dianne Feinstein, her husband, is one of the original PMNAC members. Kagan.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Anyway, just interesting stuff.
You know what? Here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is the most in 32 DoomCasts now, and I've been on your radio program when you had it and your podcast. That is the most complete breakdown of a story that has changed my mind. After listening to your analysis, that analysis, which I thought was brilliant, I am now on board with your Snowden theory.
Well, thanks, man. No,
yeah, that was good. That was a good breakdown.
If nothing, it's food for thought.
Sweet Jesus! China is calling me, Doug Owen.
China. Oh,
you want to hear this? I was gonna say we could put this on DoomCast, but I'll wait.
Oh man, I want to hear what's happening at the Chinese factory over there. Sorry,
I'm still on China Watch. I'm still on China Watch from last week. It's been a torturous week for this guy right here. I had 2 teeth pulled out yesterday that wasn't supposed to be pulled out until next week, but an infection had caused me to go in early and get that done. And I've had 5 nights out of the last 10 where I have to work the China shift, which is 9 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning, because we have production going over there, and I have to be at my computer so I can look at samples and give guidance on what we're supposed to do if certain situations pop up. So I'm on China Watch.
Man, well, you know what that means? It means it's the end of the show here, my friend. We got to get out of here. Follow us on Twitter at DoomCast Show. That's the handle. WideAwakeNews.com is Charlie's website, of course. BlacklistedNews.com, BlacklistedRadio.com, all of those websites, and our Spreaker channel, DoomCast.com.
Yeah. Doug Owen, thank you very much. Great program. You're a superstar, my friend.
I don't know about that. We'll find out. You can comment on the YouTube video. We hope you do. And until next time, take care.
Peace.